Benny McCarthy. How many times he delighted billions and billions with his goal-scoring heroics. Millions of sub fans, millions of South African fans, his decorated playing career. Lifted from the corner, away by Dominic Chanda. Abud looks from range, takes a deflection, takes it to two deflections on its way through. Up for the corner again. Abud looking from range. Sounds like Matthews Bunda last, but it took deflection of Prince Mumba's chest on the way through. It's a corner to Kenya. Good period of pressure from the coast. Making their competition debut in this edition. Oga looking for space. Matthews Bunda doesn't want to leave him alone. Kalumba watchful, aware at his back post. Odhiambo feeds near post. Look towards the pocket of space. Only Chongo waits. Collects now. But it's a poor first touch from the very experienced international. And Kenya have a throw, which they take quickly. Drilled to the near side, but Odhiambo nowhere near that. Long time service. Kenyan football on Abud. Definitely a short while ago, caught both Mumba and Matthews Bunda on the way for the corner. We know. That's a header. Bwage goes back to Shikalo, Farouk Shikalo. Who now goes long up towards Sakwa as the Mexican wave makes its way around the Moi International Sports Centre. Zambia have an opportunity here. Kayongo with a pass, but it's cut out by some great cover defensive work from the captain. Good in the clearance. It was not out of play. He's back in his position now, and he's motoring upfield. There's an opportunity for Ogab or Ben Stanley or Mondi to get themselves into good positions. Slowed up slightly. Alpha Nyango. Luis Bandi. Defender and MVP at the AFC Leopard Awards postseason. We're to go, and the opposition captain has control. Kabamba. Free kick Zambia. Applying the pressure. Man who helped Kenya Police to their second round of the CAF Confederation Cup this past season. Lost to the Egyptian giants, Zamalek. That's why Bundy and Odhiambo in a little triangle before they feed inside to Nyango. Here's Nabwire, Abud, Owino. His international debut against Zambia in September last year. Really impressed with Kenya's emerging stars at the Safa Cup last year. Sylvester Owino. Played every second of this tournament for Benny McCarthy's side. McCarthy has given game time to nearly every player from. Owino. McCarthy not overly happy with that last passage of play and his march towards the edge of his technical area where he's gesticulating wildly and screaming, no doubt, instructions at his players. Donaldson remains here, approaching the half-hour mark in Kasarani. We're combining with Kibwage. Owino. Instead, Mondi's a little deep. That ball is straight over his head. Siku finds Banda, who has a false touch. And that'll be a Kenya throw. Takes it quickly. Odiambo, Uino. We're again seeking a way through. Aboud runs onto this. Organ waits. Oh, Aboud. That was an excellently timed challenge from Matthews, and it needed to be. When you commit and you go off your feet in the penalty area, it needs to be absolutely spot on. Well, you risk conceding a penalty. He takes down his opponents. He's caught all of the ball there as Matthews Banda. It's another corner to Kenya. Ryan Noga. Looking for space. Yabo goes too close to Kalumba, who collects it comfortably to bowl it out. Takes a little bump, and the referee says free kick. Kalumba takes quickly. Tembo. Sinsiku. Banda. Certainly carved out the opportunities, but had 4 shots at goal to Zambia's 2. Both sides only managed half of their attempts. That goal on target. Kalumba. He worked away by Kibwage. Nabuere now. Back to his captain, Wood. Funyango. Testing ball to Ueno, but he shows great composure again, brings the ball down nicely. Wage, Funyango, Sako out wide. Lewis Bundy now, very versatile player. In midfield, usually operates either a left back or a right back. Good diagonal ball from Kibwage, and it's nodded out of play by Banda. Kenya dominating possession, dominating the shots, dominating virtually all the stats, but they haven't scored yet. All right. Morocco lead DRC. Getting the current to this in Group A. They need the lead. With it. It's Mumba, free kick Zambia. They're playing their game, they're creating the chances, they're not over-committing, which would potentially leave them exposed on the counter. Nyambo. That's right between Ogam and Ostino Diambo. Was ball looking to pick out one of the 2 Kenyan goal scorers in this tournament as we hit the half-hour mark here in Kasarani. Goalless it remains between Zambia and Kenya. An hour of football to be played. Nabuere touching his head. Kelvin Mwanza is back on his feet. The attention immediately on the park, and the referee being wise to the potential head injury. Reno having nodded forward, didn't he? Coming down. Looks like the blow from Mumba has caught Nabuere on the back of his head. Meanwhile, having a word to a couple of his players, including Mumba and Owen Tembo. Benny McCarthy. He was one of Africa's greatest players. The coach, he's already started to turn heads with Cape Town City. The MTN8 title in South Africa with Amazulu. The squad that was far from the strongest managed to finish second in the league. South Africa. Shot from Kawasu Chongo. That's high. He's caught on his follow through. Away, put into a pocket of space on the edge of that penalty arc. The shot and caught, it seems. Follow through. Diablo, meanwhile, pushes one through towards Oga inside the area. It's a heavy touch, can't keep it in play. And again, opportunity lost. Millions of Kenyans. The William Ruto president, Kenya looked for something here, and all that nearly had the opportunity as the signal. There's a heart-in-mouth moment. Aboud. Nyango, Wage. On the edge of the penalty arc. Lovely movement from Diablo, gets the shot away, but it's blocked by the defence, and now the counter is on for Zambia. Kenya players scrambling back defensively. Kibwage is chasing hard. Ayombo is significantly quicker across the turf, but that ball rolls out of play before Ayombo can get on the end of it. The halfway line to Rutsukalo. This pass intercepted by Chongo. Get to play. Just being driven back by Nyambo, comes straight back to him. Owino. Back to Safwa, who receives him from Bundy. Kenya again press forward. Stanley Bundy was got to the far side of the park, looking for the ball, coming his way in, nearly finds him as well. Touch on him. Zambia escape. That'll be a free kick to Zambia. But now, side 10 minutes to go to half time. Fouls, 4. We'll hold this up. Players and support as well, including his captain. Kampamba now has it. Steering down the board, flicks it towards the back post, and it's a lovely header from Bundy. Get back again, lovely control from Lewis Bundy. And he's wildly applauded. Onyango, Aboud. Side to Onyango. One of the players, Gurmaya Alfonyango, started at the club after high school and made his way through the ranks into the first team, playing for his country. Stephen Mundi. Bandit Nabuire. Thought about the shot, maybe. Safwa now, Ogan White centrally. With the head of Stephen Mundi recovered by Abud. Looking for the outlet, eventually it's Kibwage. Safwa's in space on the far side, but Reno has a little space on the halfway line. Unyango, Nabuire, Unyango. Kenya playing very structured football, good control movement from them. Yet to Zambian defence. Really dispossessed. For Lumba combined to see it clear for Zambia. Chishimba. Chanda. Chishimba. Zambia will be disappointed with this campaign. They're looking to finish on high. Before this tournament, across 4 editions, Zambia only ever lost 3 matches. At this edition, lost 3 matches in their first 3. Certainly not been the campaign that they would have aimed for. Side that had the distinction of progressing to the knockout stages for each of their previous Chan appearances. And 2 of those losses, incidentally, of the 3 that I mentioned in the 4 tournaments prior to this, came to eventual champions. Lost 2-1 to DRC at the semi-finals in 2009, where they eventually finished 3rd, and they lost 3-1 to Morocco at the quarter-finals in 2020. The defeat incidentally was to Sudan in the quarter-finals in 2018. Papa. Shishiba's a long way forward, now winds up in the more central position. He's fouled by Safwa. Free kick Zambia. Awkward angle to try to make the challenge, Safwa. Gallo. Kenya for a while. He spent some time in Tanzania with young Africans. Bamba, meanwhile, stands over this. 2 played abroad. 5 minutes to half time. Goal to 6 remains. Kelvin Ubanga Kabamba stands over this for Zambia. Pulls as if wildly. Not the connection he would have hoped for. Not the connection he would have hoped for. From Grant. Looks to get on the end of this. Kibwage covers a loose ball, manages to keep it in play. Unyango. Ball retention has been excellent, and his ball distribution has been on point. He has spent Samuel Mondi. Beautiful control. Looks to go around the outside of Banda. Free kick Zambia. The opportunity for Daniel Mundi, but credit to Matthews Bunda and the way he was able to defend that. Kayombo. Brilliantly done by Abu. Wins it back. Kayombo goes down. And free kick to Kenya. Kayombo in disbelief. Coming up to half time. Zambia growing to this game. Kenya failing to get quite as many shots away as they would like. A few opportunities in which they got into really dangerous areas without testing the opposition keeper. Here's Hogan. Was he onside? Looks for the shot. Dominic Chanda has gone down. Fabian Siku showing his discontent. 20-year-old squaring up. Chanda looks very uncomfortable in his own goal line. It's Kelvin Wanza. Ryan Oga, goal-scoring hero against Morocco. Eventually going up. It's the follow-through from Ryan Oga. Punches Chanda above his knees. Zambia from the free kick. Winds up. Feels for handball. It is so. Well, the good news for Kenya is the Democratic Republic of Congo have equalized against Morocco. Jephte Kitambala has scored an equalizer. And that means, as things stand, Kenya are top of the group. So Kenya, as things stand, top of the group. Morocco and DRC currently playing for a point apiece. It's Daniel Mundi. Through ball. He'll come back into space. Who's going to reach it first? It's Daniel Mundi gets a touch on it. Out for the goal kick it goes. Three calling for medical attention to make their way up to the park. Then Dominic Chanda down, but Daniel Mundi as well. Two players coming together as they both challenged for possession in a very dangerous area for Zambia. Yambo looked for passing the space, but Daniel Mundi needs to do quite a bit of work to get himself into a position to try to shoot from there. Aguero getting out of Austin Yambo's way. Dominic Chanda and Daniel Mundi colliding, momentum taking them into one another. Only 1 minute of additional time as we hit the 45-minute mark here in Nairobi at the Moi International Sports Centre. The onus remains. Attention now. Benny McCarthy and his assistant coach, Vasily Manusakis. Pushing on. Kenyan fans have been heartened by what they've seen from Kenya in this tournament. Their engine room has been so very impressive. And have had, regardless of who plays, intelligent ball winners, short passing technicians, and their midfielders thrived on quick transitions. On the turf. The good news is that Daniel Mundi is back on his feet. Not on the pitch at the moment. He'll be called onto the park by the referee once the ball is back in play. Kalumba steers this directly out of play, and then Samuel Mondi is called back on now. Now, while we had 1 minute of time added on when we hit the 45, there was an injury concern at the 45-minute mark, so the referee will allow for that and play another minute on top of what he initially asked to be signalled. Kibwage. Made telling runs. This is back to Onyango. Couldn't find the through ball. Saka will pick up on the loose ball though. Bandi. Onyango. It's deep. Kalumba's come. Kalumba collects the ball, and indeed his defender Matthews Banda. Austin Onyango. Aboud. And he drops his head the moment he struck it. Kalumba now pulls to the ground, holding onto his stomach. Certainly made some significant contact with his own defender, Matthews Banda. Both of them took a knock. So we only had a minute of additional time. We've had 2 injury concerns in added time. We only had a minute of additional time. We've had 2 injury concerns. The umber watches on. Added time. One of Kenya's first 2 goals at this tournament. Avram Grant, presiding over a campaign that has been less than ideal for Zambia. Felt that Zambia have got something out of this, though. They have seen some positives and indeed spotted a few players who could potentially be ready for international duty. So play will get underway from a drop ball. Referee says no, we won't have the drop ball. Instead, we are going to have half-time, gentlemen, to the tunnel. It's been an intense battle between Zambia and Kenya, both seeking the early goal. They're able to find it. At half-time between Zambia and Kenya, it's goalless at the Moi International Sports Centre in Nairobi. At half-time between Zambia and Kenya, it's Chanda walks off a little gingerly. Benny McCarthy walking back to his change room, looking for some inspiration for his players in the second half. They want to win this group, they want to win it outright. They do not want to rely on a draw between Morocco and DRC. They want to win this group. For Zambia, it's about winning this match and finishing this campaign on a high, regardless of the 3 defeats that came before. It's about winning this match and finishing this campaign on a high. 3 defeats that came before. Winning this match and finishing this campaign. 3 defeats that came before. Winning this match and finishing this campaign. How these sides lined up against one another statistically in the opening half. Kenya dominating 2/3 of the possession effectively in this game. A passing accuracy of 90%, which is a genuine credit to the way they've played in this tournament, stringing together nearly 300 passes and almost twice the number that Zambia managed to achieve. The disappointing statistic from a Kenyan perspective is that whilst they've had 8 shots at goal, they've only had 2 on target. From a Zambian perspective as well, after some early chances. Much to write home about it's in the bulk of the opening half. They carved out 5 chances, 2 on target, but it's been a very tame effort as well. 15 goals in the opening half and only 1 yellow card, and going away of Owen Tembo, 17 minutes in. Very tame effort as well.
Hello there. Do you want to own a home? Welcome to Bomayangu, a Kenyan government initiative offering affordable home ownership opportunities to every Kenyan. We have projects across the entire country with a deposit of 5% the value of the house and a fixed interest rate of as low as 3%. Your journey to home ownership begins. Log into the eCitizen portal, dial *832#. Register with shillings only and start saving via mobile money, debit card, credit card to achieve the required deposits. From the listed housing developments, bad locations, for a housing unit to begin journey toward a home ownership. Prices start from 640,000 Kenya shillings. Visit Omayangu at www.omayangu.gov.ke. Brought to you by Affordable Housing Board, Macau Bora, Jukumu Electric. Visit Omayangu at www.omayangu.gov.ke. Brought to you by Affordable Housing Board.
Aro, atilikuwa mnapika na msimami. Sasa nitapika nini cha haraka?
relatively long through. So long as who's playing the assists from his throw-in. Zambian League, Super League. Bamba. To go long. The boot. The young volunteer who's just the ball from Carlos' goal. Kenya #1. Starting his first match before the Harambee Stars today from Carlos Sugar. This season in Tanzania before making his way to Bandari, the Mombasa club, coastal club. That's David Sakwa, another one of the Bandari players in his club for the last couple of seasons. Very promising player is Sakwa. Pulled up to the national team almost immediately after making his top flight debut last year. Back inside on Yambo, back to Kikwagi. The lights are on now in Moi International Sports Centre. The long ball, Wanda was making a run, but it was timed it perfectly. It clears towards the halfway line. Nearly came together, enough for Younger's foul. Free kick Kenya. They've got away with one, so nearly didn't. Mumba. And he's cautioned. Very strong player, Prince Mumba. Now a Dynamo's captain. Mumba. And he's cautioned. Dominic Kundera, standout. Into a club claimed the Zambian Super League title this past campaign, their 8th title. Combined with Sakwa. Kenya played 7 complete halves of football in this tournament. They've only conceded 1 goal. It's utterly remarkable the way they've played from a defensive position. Zambia bringing radial experience into this game. Genuinely long-term campaigners, Kambamba and Chongo on the bench. There's more with the likes of Zulu and Waya experience into this game. Kambamba now forward, Owino down. Napuire. Space opening up to charge forward and then with Uga calling for the ball at his feet. Makes Mumba's yellow card. Uga's gone and blasted that ball well beyond Ryan Uga. Booting was swinging on from Mumba. His career with Cowboy Warriors. 5 years ago, returned to the club after a season in Croatia. Now a Dynamo is where he's lived into the league title. By Temple. Winds up off the side of the boot, the inside of the boot and away, and Grant drops his head. Disappointment once again. Opportunity for Zambia. Seven shots at goal. Only 2 on target. Kenya only had 2 on target of their 8. They created it here. Down the left jacket towards Rocklover. Looking to stand on his feet. Back to Oshino Diallo on the edge of the area. It's managed to be skipped away by the Zambian defence. Wagi. Intercepted by Temple, and Zambia can hit some transition. Kambamba. There's enough on it. Here's the ball out of play. Long throw. Essentially. Like Kabamba finding tempo, runs onto it again in space. The up in support, wants us on the far side. Then Daniel Mordy back to take position. Austin at the elbow, asking to chase. Chanda brings it down. Runs onto it again in space. Daniel Mordy is still on the ground. Zambia attacks. Prince Rumba, square ball, keep walking. Straight up in the air. Eventually, the referee signals a stoppage in play. Daniel Mordy, the player down. The referee signals a stoppage in play. That ball away, and then Daniel Mordy out of the path of Wanza, which is the trailing leg of Vince Daniel Mordy. But meanwhile, he's collected a yellow card. Second yellow card of the tournament. They will not advance. Dominated in the group stage for the first time in the African Nations Championship. Yellow's got 5 players though in the squad as part of Zambia's team with the last AFCON. Bamba with Kelvin Kapumbu, with Frederick Mulambia, Rally Boya, and Benedict Chibeshi. Only one, however, to start Zambia today. Training camp at the University of Lusaka. Doesn't have any friendly matches, but he's not in third league. Doesn't get a card looked out. One side is. And the University of Lusaka. Doesn't have any friendly matches, but he's not in third league. Doesn't get a card looked out. One side is. Going to show great promise early on in his career, still looking to deliver on that fully. So players back underway in his career, still deliver on that fully, nodded away by Banda Chongo. But immediately back on his feet, he's Kabamba around the outside of Onyango, who stays with him. Nabuire now, danger. Looks to hit him. This transition ball here against Daniel Mordy out wide. The score central. Safra dropped in towards the back. Onyango with space, hits for the shot and forces the save from Kalumba down to his left. Alpha Onyango saw a little space. Tried his luck from range, looking to curl it beyond Kalumba and around him. Alpha Onyango saw a little space. Third shot on target for Kenya in this game. 9 in total. And it's Kawasu Chongo. 7 continental titles with TP Mazembe. Shot on target for Kenya in this game. 9 in total. And it's Kawasu Chongo. 7 continental titles with TP Mazembe. Free kick in the middle of the park. We'll go over this. Bunga Kabamba. Free kick in the middle of the park. Using the goalkeeper. Miscommunication perhaps between goalkeeper and defenders. His defence looks clear. Bundy putting his body on the line against Chongo. Throw in Zambia. Between goalkeeper and defenders. Several years senior of Lewis Bundy. To court. He might have a case there, but I can actually get Jobbers for rolling out of play. This is just being a throw. Kabamba looks for the long throw. In the area. Think we've been spoken to. The first thing in the game. Good news is that Aguero is back on his feet. Aguero. Good news is that Yumbo got a touch on it. Kept in play. Ball by Kalumba, nice and early. Breaking the hour mark, he remains goalless in this fixture. Kept in play, remains deadlocked, but one apiece in the other fixture. I stood on the right of your screen and facing Shiri. Set to make their way on imminently. Both were among 4 players who were limbering up out of the time. They weren't in the changing room with their teammates. Before play gets back underway, we are going to see the introduction of Andrew. Mr. Nyambo is making way. Played a significant role today. Quite been able to help Kenya get over the goal-scoring line. He makes his way over the ball. The experienced Masud Juma, David Safa. Make his way over for Shiri. United Stars man. Business signing from Tusker in January 2022. Makes his way on for that man, David Sakwa. Brings a wealth of experience to the front line and indeed a hunger for goals. Spending the last couple of matches out, following a knock in a row with their victory against DRC. Problem here for Kayombo, who's down for Zambia. The player on the far side is Juma. That ball in. It's Kayombo. Zambian border village of Kingi. Risen through the ranks magnificently in Zambian football to see himself now on the international stage. Zambian border village striker. Through the ranks magnificently in Marino controls. Upward clears. Plays Zambian throw. Striker. Marino controls. His way through. Tembo. Chishiba. Way through. Controlled by Bandi. Namasiri. He plays down the left track. Pushes to replace something on the right today. Onyekuru makes a break and Sickles after him. Just the pass away. Now wide, all that was waiting second. Floated in over his head. It's there to be hit. It's on top of it, but Mr. Juma is delivered by a brilliant Richard save. Charles Kalumba to the rescue. The rain starts to fall here over the Roy International Sports Centre. But it is not dampening Kenyan spirit. So Juma at the back post. Glorious delivery. Morgan waiting at the near post. Kalumba ready perfectly. With that, Abram Grant is going to make a couple of changes. Prince Mumba makes way. So too does Calvin Wanza. Timothy Sichale is making his way on. So too is Kenneth Kasanga. As Kasanga makes his first appearance at this tournament, and with that, every player in the Zambian squad has received game time at the South African Nations Championship. 28-year-old Quasi star on Quasi, the police team in Zambia. Very quick winger is Kasanga. You will not want to see him at his best. He is very dangerous indeed. Lays it back for a wide. It's with a slight slip on it. It's becoming a wet surface with the rain coming down for a little while. It seems to have ceased momentarily. It's Bunda. It's the long throw. Bamba. Temple. The pressure going back to their defenders. Chanda now. Driving ball, but he is there. It's brilliant about Lewis Bundy. Even when he clears, he manages to find a teammate so often. Delivering glass early. There's massive appeals for us all against the signal. Trying again in Kenya, kept it alive. They're playing to the whistle, and they fire a ball into the side hitting here. Well, attention is being summoned. But there are mammoth roars of disapproval. Potential handball against Matthews Bunda here. Boniface Kushiri lays the ball in. And that's why. Not against Matthews Bunda. Matthews Bunda was the player who nodded down against the single. Hogan was vehement in his appeal. It will be James. The atmosphere. Electric. The Boy International Sports Centre here in Kasarani, Nairobi. Ashiri, telling ball in. Dominic Chanda was just off to his side. Just Bunda who tried to clear it. Equal down. Ball into the side netting. Lots of rain still about. Lots of rain still about. Later, Dimitri McCarthy, Cape Town City in South Africa, the worst part of his many overseas tours. Again, the header is there to be challenge from Juma. Switch in Kenya, as Mashiri goes down. Kenya. Alive. To run onto that, bring it down. Lumba gets on the end of it. So they play, release this ball out for Temple. Shots goal from Kenya. Zambia. Based on minutes, this Kenyan side. Goal in this game, growing confidence. Targeting total. He has two in the opening half, two inside the opening 20 minutes of the second, but it's still no goals. Kabamba. Very brilliant thing. Proving great ball winner in the middle of the Zambia. Limited support going forward. Nayombo. He knocks it away. Tempo. Chongo now. It's a bit of range, a little too far out to genuinely test the opposition keeper. Tempo. Chongo again, back in sequence. Clear. Upward. One shooting. Puts it together beneath the bunny. Read the balance, the best of all. Down under the challenge of the Nyongo, and referee says free kick Zambia in a very handy position. Referee says free kick Zambia in a very handy position. Zambia. Faruq's goal. Set piece in this case. Zambia. The chess between the respective coaches. Party. Edge inside. Zambia scores. He said Zambia is on the structured game plan. The size of very seldom planning Zambia. Showed no signs of panic placing into this game as well. Stands over this with the rain coming down. Through the little challenging for the goalkeeper for Luciano. Looks to go direct, but he's gone high. Summoned a couple of players in six mid stadium warning. Summoned a couple of players in six mid stadium warning. Diagonal ball, the Bamba has it to Zambia. The Zambian throw. Touch of Mushiri. Still covered by no free kicks in the referee. Chimba and Mushiri are both down. Eventually, he calls a halt to play. Still covered by no free kicks in the referee. Zanako signing Chimba. Chimba and Mushiri are both down. Eventually, he calls a halt to play. Through catching Mushiri. Zanako signing Chimba. Getting back to his feet towards Charlwick, picked up by Tembo. Going German failed. For Chishimba. Like Blondie, he's got the space, but I think it's he was making it trying to hold off his defender, but had been cut in central position to win possession. Free kick Zambia, 20 minutes to play. Then you see the lead. But as things stand, they would be top of Group A, because DRC and Morocco are still deadlocked at one apiece. But as things stand, they would be top of Group A. DRC and Morocco one apiece. Kubamba, Shiba, Chalwe, Timo Tiger, he turns 21 on Tuesday. Shimba, combined with Chalwe. Mini bench. More deep. Looks in the range. Yes, Glavin alive. Seems the opening for the Trugano and commanding he takes the catch. Holds it out to Onyango, who's got the space and has a little bit of time, but he overran slices and allowed Tongo an opportunity to catch up with him. Finds Nabuire though, then out wide, Abud. Putting Jungle away, the rain getting a little heavier now. Throw into Kenya. Around the outside marker, which shows that he shows the thunder and out for another throw. Hold up. Warner to Kenya. 12 shots at goal, only 4 on target for Kenya. Kalumba. Yet to be beaten in this game. Ricardo. Tested a couple of occasions by Zambia. Shots at goal. Far side of the park. Those putting pressure on the Zambian defence from the corner. Kenya left one in, nodded away in the near post. Upward, chips it back into the danger area, but too close to Kalumba. Balls it out for Kishimba, but on the very damp surface now, just gets away from Kishimba, throw into the Kenyan side, who now find themselves down. Potentially it's second place in the group because Morocco has taken the lead. The captain Grimat has found a goal from the penalty mark in the match play concurrent to this. With 18 minutes to play in that game, Morocco lead by 2 goals to 1 and are poised to finish top of Group A and to stay in Nairobi for their quarter-final clash. Kenya could change that with a win over Zambia.